This sign tells you that you're entering Rosewood, but there's nothing to remind you that there was once a thriving African-American community here, a community whose members own property and their own small businesses. All that's left now are trailers and trees. And for survivors like Robbie Morton, memories.
Oh, yes, I was happy. I mean, Rosewood was a nice town to live in. You didn't run into no problems.
How did you spend your days normally?
Playing in the woods. So the flowers we used to pick, wildflowers. You know, I'd like to go through the woods picking wildflowers now.
But all that was beautiful and pure to Robbie Morton was destroyed one cold New Year's Day in 1923.
My father went to work that morning, going up to the mill to go to work. And when he got there, he said everybody, he noticed the white people were acting very strange. He happened to be very close. And they said, yeah, we going back down there tonight, and we gonna wipe them niggas out.
Some of the whites in the town had heard that a mill worker's wife, Fannie Taylor, had been beaten and possibly raped by a black man, and were now out for revenge. Robbie Morton was only 8 years old at the time. She lived with her grandmother and Uncle Sam Carter, while her father worked at the mill. But on that fateful night, she and her older sister were visiting her father for the holidays.
So he had told my sister, say, you get Robbie ready, and you get yourself ready, because I'm going to send you all up to Chiefland right now before the train comes. I'm going to send you all up to Chiefland to your older sister. And that's how we got out.
While Robbie Morton was on a train to safety, her father returned to Rosewood to help others escape through the woods. But Robbie says there were many people who didn't escape the angry mob, one of whom was her favorite uncle, Sammy.
He was killed New Year's Day. And we were still there in Rosewood, me and my sister, not even knowing anything. He hung there for 3 days, we were told. I tell you, it'd like to kill me.
Houses were burned, people were killed, families were torn apart. But Robbie Morton survived what happened 72 years ago in Rosewood, thanks to her father. He put her on a train to her sister's house and safety. She says her grandmother arrived soon after, hidden underneath some mail bags in a postman's truck. Then they moved from Levy County to Riviera Beach and didn't dream of going back to their home in Rosewood. But Robbie still didn't know the fate of her father until 2 years later, when she and her grandmother decided to join Hearst Chapel AME Church.
He was a minister.
You had no idea he was there?
No, I had no idea he was here. Oh, my goodness. I could say right then that was the happiest day of my life. To see my father again, oh my gosh. I could say it was the happiest day of my life, because I knew I had won somebody that was left out of that Rosewood.
But still, the memories of those she did lose were stored away like a dark secret, a secret so horrific it was years before she even told her own children.
She never talked about it. She never let us know anything.
Robbie and her family were not alone. There were others in Riviera Beach who were part of the secret. They'd moved to the community to work in the mills and to live and die in peace.
Oh, the Goins were here. There were some Goins here. There was a Gertrude Carrier.
These people all fled from Rosewood?
All of them from Rosewood, yes, every one of them.
The 80-year-old Robbie Morton, like most of the people buried here, never returned to Rosewood.
I don't think I could stand it. I really don't.
Doyle Scoggins has lived in Rosewood for 17 years and the only house that survived the racial conflict. The 2-story white clapboard house belonged to the community's only white shopkeeper, John Wright. Wright reportedly used his home to hide blacks who ran away from the angry mobs. But because there's no mention of the town's racial conflict in county history, or state history for that matter, Scoggins knew nothing about the Rosewood story or about survivors like Robbie until years after moving in.
Well, people around here just wanted to sweep it under the rug and forget about it, you know, because obviously they're not proud of it.
But despite the past, Robbie Morton is not bitter and looks forward to spending time with the new branches of her family tree and remembering the wildflowers.
I had a strong grandmother. She lost everything. And she said to us, you cannot look back. Pick up what you got and go ahead.
Joan Fuller, Channel 6 News.